Blaise Pascal was a French mathematician, physicist, religious philosopher, and master of prose. He was born on June 19, 1623 in Clermont-Ferrand, France, and passed away on August 19, 1662 in Paris. He developed what is now known as the Pascal's principle of pressure, set the groundwork for the contemporary theory of probability, and spread a theological philosophy that stressed the need of having an emotional rather than a rational response to God. His development of intuitionism had an influence on the existentialists as well as subsequent thinkers like Jean-Jacques Rousseau and Henri Bergson. Etienne Pascal, Blaise's father, presided over the tax court at Clermont-Ferrand. His mother passed away in 1626 and the family relocated to Paris in 1631. Etienne, a distinguished mathematician, committed himself going forward to his kids' education. While his sister Jacqueline, who was born in 1625, was regarded as a young prodigy in the literary world, Blaise demonstrated his own prodigious abilities in mathematics. Essai pour les coniques, an article he authored in 1640 on conic sections, was based on his research of Girard Desargues' now classic work on synthetic projective geometry. The young man's effort, which achieved significant success in the field of mathematics, sparked the enmity of none other than René Descartes, a famous French rationalist and mathematician. Pascal created the Pascaline between 1642 and 1644 to aid his father, who had been appointed intendant in Rouen in 1639 in the computation of his taxes. The device was recognized by Pascal's contemporaries as his greatest source of renown, and with good reason. Since it worked by counting integers, it might be considered the first digital calculator. The importance of this contribution explains the boyish pride shown in his 1644 dedication of the machine to Pierre Siki, the Chancellor of France.
Blaise Pascal has made significant contributions to different field subjects. However, we will just cover some of his key accomplishments. He was a prolific author who produced important works like Provincial Letters. After experiencing a profound religious revelation in 1654, Blaise Pascal turned nearly entirely to writing about religion. Pascal wrote a collection of 18 letters between January 1656 and March 1657 to defend the Port Royal Jansenist Society against Jesuit accusations of heresy. Pascal criticized casuistry in the Provincial Letters as a simple application of sophisticated reasoning to excuse moral lapses and various sins. The letters received a significant response, and Pascal's combination of wit, humor, and ridicule in criticizing established institutions made the work a literary masterpiece that is still widely regarded today. Another literary work of his, entitled Pensées, is regarded as a landmark in French prose. Before his passing in 1662, at the age of 39, Blaise Pascal had not finished his most important theological work. The piece provided a thorough and well-organized analysis and defense of Christianity. It was initially published in 1669, and it quickly gained popularity. Blaise Pascal is recognized as one of the most significant writers of the French classical period and one of the greatest masters of French prose because of his big literary works, the Pensées and Provincial Letters.
Philosopher Blaise Pascal came to closet to establishing a unified, long-lasting philosophy of science that is consistent with and equal to the mainstream position today in several of his works in science. He was torn between his love of geometric evidence and pure logical argument and his distrust of experimentalism and empiricism. Despite his prolonged sickness, Pascal made substantial contributions to mathematics and physical science. One of his most notable mathematical works is conic sections. Pascal authored his first paper, the essay on conics, when he was 16 years old. His discovery is known as Pascal's theorem. It argues that a hexagon is generated when 6 points on a conic sections are joined by line segments. Furthermore, in 1654, he solved a series of issues connected to gambling odds computation. He shared his discoveries with Pierre de Fermat, who basically developed contemporary probability theory. The treatise describes how to build and use what is now known as Pascal's triangle. As a scientist and philosopher of science, Pascal advocated for strict empirical observation and the use of controlled experiments. He rejected the Cartesian's rationalism and logico-deductive approach, and he criticized the Middle Ages theologians' metaphysical theories and veneration for authority.
Blaise Pascal was known for establishing the theory of probabilities, which is concerned with the analysis of random phenomena. He also developed what became known as Pascal's principle of pressure while experimenting, inventing the syringe, and spreading a religious theology that taught us God's experience through our hearts rather than the mind. Pascal was embarrassed by his abundance in talents as he was a physicist, a mathematician, and eloquent publicist in the Provinciales, and an inspired artist in the Apology, and his private notes all at the same time. It's also believed that his overly concrete mindset stopped him from discovering calculus, and in some of the Provinciales, the perplexing relationships of humans with God are treated as if they were a geometrical issue. These considerations, however, are much exceeded by the advantage he derived from the diversity of his gifts, and his religious writings are rigorous as a result of his scientific study.